realize how scared everybody in the NFL was of the Philadelphia Eagles until we actually lost. Now I can see it clear as day. And they got a problem because the Eagles, they only lost one game. And still, I believe, are the best team in the National Football League. Dallas still stinks. Go by the way, King Dingbat here, and hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. You know, I've heard a lot of things over the course of the last, 16 hours since the Eagles played. I've heard a lot of Mark Holmes propaganda, a lot of Cowboys propaganda, talking about how the sky is falling. Oh my gosh, the Eagles, they've lost. It's all going to come crashing down. And what are they going to do? The Eagles exposed. It's bad karma. All this crap. I look at it like this. It's a crack in the road, a fly in the ointment, a pain in the ass. Nothing we can't get over. Now, before we get into this, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe for daily Eagles content, NFL content. You definitely don't want to miss it. And if you've been subscribed for a while, let me just say, you are my old G's. Thank you so much. I appreciate all your support, but just double check. Double walk check. Make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube acts all weird. And let me also take a second to thank each and every one of you guys, because it was you guys and the hashtag FreePhilly500 that got my appeal accepted, which just led to Major League Baseball having to rescind their copyright strike that they tried to give me. They had no evidence, they had no proof, and we are now clear of all copyright strikes. Justice is served, and you can mark one up for the good guy. You know what I'm saying? So thank you to everybody, because without you guys, I don't think that appeal would have ever been unrejected and then accepted. So thank you guys so much for all that you guys have done for me. Now, before we get into this loss and my thoughts on this game, we do have some breaking news. And to me, this is the worst thing that comes out of this game, okay? Per at Mike Garofalo, Dallas Goedert injured his shoulder. Likely on the play, he got dragged down by a face mask. Not a single pound NFL ref saw. Headed to the IR. Pound Eagles, not hashtag, had until Wednesday to decide if they would add Tyree Jackson to the roster. Likely he fills Goedert's spot there. I hope that they bring Tyree Jackson up. It's time to. The kid, hopefully he's healthy, ready to go. He's been activated on his 21-day window. So, yeah, I'm sure they're going to bring him in. And it sucks. It absolutely sucks that Dallas Goedert is hurt and headed to the IR. He's a big-time weapon for us. And fortunately for us, it's not season ending. You know, this is just, it's going to be a few games. Probably 4 games is what it sounds like. So we're going to have to survive without him. But it is what it is. It's a shame. That whole play was a shame. It was a joke. It was a farce. No way they shouldn't have called that a face mask. I don't know how nobody could see it. I mean, dude, they turned his head. It was like The Exorcist. It was going behind his back. How did they miss that call? I will never, ever know. But it is what it is. And now we lose Dallas Goedert. To me, this is the worst thing that comes out of this game is losing Dallas Goedert. I can deal with the loss. Listen, if any of you guys out there, if any of you guys were told back in August that the Eagles would be 8-1. They would be 8-1. Would you take that? If I said, would you take 8-1 if I gave it to you right now? You would take it in a second. In a second, we would all take 8-1. But somehow now the Eagles lost, and people act like it's all crashing down, like the sky's falling, it's all over for us, we're exposed. That's all a bunch of crap. That's all Cowboys propaganda. None of it is true. So before we get into the game and my thoughts on it, I got to give a huge shout out to Washington Commanders fans. Congratulations on beating us. You came in with a great game plan. Monday Night Football, backs up against the wall, double-digit underdogs, and you straight up won. So congratulations to guys like Rio, Louis T, all the Washington Commander fans out there. You won fair and square. Shout out to you guys. I can't do nothing but tip my cap to you guys and say we'll see you again down the road somewhere, maybe next year. But shout out to you guys. You guys won. Now, when I look at this game and I say, what's the main reason the Philadelphia Eagles lost in my mind? Now, I've only watched this game one time. I couldn't stomach watching it again. But to me, the main reason why the Philadelphia Eagles lost this game, I put on the defense. I put it on the defense, and I put it on Jonathan Gannon. And the reason I say that is because if you go back, especially in the first half, okay, the Washington Commanders had the ball for over 20 minutes. They had the ball for over 20 minutes to the Eagles, 7 minutes and whatever seconds. The Eagles had the ball 7 minutes. The whole entire half. Okay, the whole entire half. And why was that happening? Because the Eagles could not stop the run. Did they prepare for it? Did they know it was coming? Sure didn't seem like it, because Washington was running the ball, and they weren't breaking off 40-yard runs, 50-yard runs, but they were moving the chains enough that they were getting themselves into third and short situations. Matter of fact, I think on third downs, the average distance to a first down was 3.7 yards. So they had to go on average less than 4 yards to get a first down. If you put a team in the NFL in third and shorts consistently, they are going to have a high percentage to convert those third downs. You convert those third downs, you then keep your defense on the field longer. And that was what was happening. They were having 6-minute drives, 7-minute drives, sustained drives, keep the clock, keep the chains moving, keep the clock running, keep the defense on the field. And then by late second quarter, the Eagles were getting tired. They were getting tired. They were worn out. And what that does is not only wear your defense out, but it takes your offense out of rhythm. They're not out there. They're not playing. They're sitting on the bench. I think it screws up the rhythm. So it affects the defense and the offense. Now, why would the Eagles run the ball one time in the first half with Miles Sanders? He had one carry in the first half. I thought the offensive game plan stunk. I thought the defensive game plan stunk. But the inability for the defense to get off the field really hurt the Eagles. And I'm disappointed in the defense. I do not like this scheme. I'm just gonna say it straight up. I do not like the scheme. I think it stinks. My feelings are this. I think Jonathan Gannon's a smart guy. He may be a great head coach someday. Okay, but I feel like he plays scared. I do. I feel like he plays so scared of allowing the big play down the field that he's willing to die by 1,000 paper cuts. And that's his approach. We're going to die by 1,000 paper cuts instead of one big play. And I don't like it. I think if you're going to go down, you go down swinging. I think that in the NFL, you have to be aggressive, especially on defense, especially when the league fixes its rules so it favors offenses heavily. The only way to truly mitigate that is to get to the quarterback, to get pressure on the quarterback. And in order to do that, you have to either get pressure with your front four or whatever, or you have to blitz. You have to bring heat. You have to bring pressure from other places. The Eagles could not get home with just 4 guys. And you saw Tyler Heineken, Tyler, whatever the hell his name is. He's sitting there with a clean jersey. He has a white jersey on, white pants, barely any stains, any grass stains, meaning he did not get hit. He was not getting knocked around. He had all day to throw when he did throw. Mainly they ran, but when he did throw, he was able to do it. I thought the defense was not aggressive enough, okay? And they had to know that the run was coming. They had to know that teams are going to come out and try to run it against them after that Houston game. We all talked about it, okay? I said the Eagles, they're going to have to watch out for the run against Washington. Washington, if they have over 150 yards on the ground, they've got a very good chance to win this game. And it looked like they weren't ready. It looked like they weren't ready to to play Washington, to play the run. They didn't blitz. I don't know how many times they blitzed, but it wasn't much, and it didn't come until whatever aggressiveness came, it came late in the game when they had to get a stop to get the ball back. That's when it came. But in the first half, it wasn't there. It just wasn't there. And I think it really hurt this Eagles team. I think, how can I say this? Jonathan Gannon, I'm sure is a smart guy. I'm sure he has a potential to be a great coach. I know there are people that really like him. But I don't like his scheme, and I don't like the mindset. I feel like defense is, not just a scheme, but it's also an attitude. You have to have an attitude of aggressiveness. We're going to knock the crap out of you. And I feel like he goes to Starbucks, and he orders his chocolate latte, crema latte with this and swirl caramel and all that crap. Whatever the hell they do at Starbucks. I hate going to Starbucks. I need a drink. I hate going to Starbucks. So I go to Starbucks and I'm sitting there and my wife wants to go to Starbucks. I don't order nothing there, but she does. I'm like, we go through the drive-thru. I'm like, go ahead. Because you ever see the menu? It's like, I need a venti frappuccino latte with an extra swirl caramel and a squish of this and a squash of that. Shut the hell up. Can't it just be cream and sugar? Just coffee with cream and sugar? Something simple. So, to me, Jonathan Gannon is like the beta male defensive coordinator. Goes to Starbucks. He orders his little coffee. And he sits there with the little crappy music playing that makes you just so depressed. And he comes up with a defensive game plan. That's what I actually feel like. I just don't understand the philosophy on defense. I don't like it. I don't like the philosophy on defense. I don't. I think playing a run is an attitude. I think being aggressive is an attitude. And the Eagles play defense like, hey, we're going to be counterpunchers. We're going to counterpunch whatever the offense does. I think in the NFL, I think in football, I think you have to attack. You have to not be the counterpuncher. You have to be the aggressor. And the Eagles are always trying to counter later instead of being the aggressors. And that's why I don't like this scheme. Now, I'm not going to say he's a bad coach or he's not going to be a good head coach somewhere. I'm not going to say he doesn't know what he's doing in football. I just think it's an attitude thing. I think it's a personality thing. I don't think that's in him. I think some guys have that, some guys don't. I don't think he has it. And when he doesn't have it, the offense has to be on point because you're going to have to score points. And listen, it has worked for 8 weeks during a year where you have 8 wins and the defense has come up big time and made some big turnovers in key situations. I get all that. But I look at that and I say, the Eagles' personnel, their players on defense, are good. They're good. I don't know that they're used right, but they're good. Okay? And in my opinion, that talent on defense and the personnel and the players have bailed Jonathan Gannon out of certain situations. It's just my feeling. So, what is Jonathan Gannon going to do now that there's a loss? Because I also feel like the fact that we keep winning makes him not change anything. Why change it if it's working? Why change it? But now with a loss, he's going to actually have to go back and look at it and actually address things that we've been talking about all year. At least I hope so. But to me, that was the biggest issue in this game. It was the defense. It was the inability to stop the run and the inability to be aggressive. You have Tyler, I don't care what the hell his name is, but Heineken is not Patrick Mahomes. He is not Josh Allen. He is not Russell Wilson. He is not all these guys. He's Heineken. And the truth of the matter is sometimes I feel like we treat these young quarterbacks and we give them too much respect instead of trying to confuse them, trying to go at them, trying to attack. Like I said, Jim Johnson, Buddy Ryan, they did not lose to rookie quarterbacks, to young quarterbacks, inexperienced quarterbacks. It didn't happen. They didn't lose to mediocre quarterbacks. Mediocre quarterbacks against Jonathan Gannon over the last 2 years have had really good days. So that, to me, is the biggest issue. Now, I got to say this. The Eagles are 8-1. there were mistakes made on offense, of course. You can't have Quez Watkins fumble that ball when he caught it. When Quez caught that ball, that bomb was a beautiful pass by Jalen Hurts. I thought, here we go. Here's the big play. We're going to go win this game now. Watch. And then he fumbles the ball. It was unbelievable. You can't do that. If it really felt like with that fumble, with the Goedert fumble and the no call, with the referees, not calling that face mask, there were a couple other plays that just felt like there was. Remember the snap? They snapped the ball 20 yards over Heineken's head, and there were no Eagles to get there. If the Eagles were actually blitzing and sending some people, you would have been able to pick the ball up. But Heineken had enough time to run all the way back, grab the ball, and then throw it. But it was plays like that over and over again that made me feel like, man, this just ain't our night. This just ain't our night. And that's kind of how I chalk it up. It wasn't our night. Washington came in, give them credit. But it wasn't our night. We did too many things wrong. And we still could have won this game. This is a good team. This is a good team. And people are going to rail on them. And they're going to tell you the sky is falling. And it's not. You had one loss. The Eagles weren't going 17-0. And would you want them to? There were people that would debate me saying they wouldn't even want them to. Get the loss out of the way. Helps you to refocus. And I kind of agree with them. I see their point. So I don't think that this loss somehow is going to expose the Eagles and the sky's falling and it's all bad now. It's a loss. It happens during the regular season. The Eagles got to turn the page, got to move on. You go out, you beat the Colts, you're 9-1 all of a sudden. So, there's plenty of time. I actually think the biggest winner of yesterday's game was the New York Giants. The New York Giants are now one game behind the Eagles, and they haven't played them yet, so they still got to play them twice. So Giants got to be happy. They have to be happy. As far as Dallas goes, you're going to lose next week to Minnesota. So I'm not worried about it. But, yeah, it was sloppy play offensively, sloppy play defensively. But the defense, the running game, the way that they couldn't stop Washington on third downs, how everything was third and short. To watch Jonathan Gannon do that and then not adjust and just keep doing the same thing, it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. Now, if we go out next week and we have a performance like this again and we lose, I'm going to start to be pissed off. But right now, listen, I feel like it was coming. I'm not going to totally overreact to this whole loss. We're still 8-1. My thing is this. Fix the problems that you have, because we've seen these things boiling up for weeks, but we've been getting away with wins, so nobody notices. But listen, I think the Eagles will be fine. I think we'll get things going. I'm more concerned about the Dallas Goedert injury. And there's nothing you can do. I thought Jalen Hurts played fine. I thought he was good. I thought A.J. Brown had his worst game. I really blame the defense because they were on the field too long, couldn't stop the run, couldn't stop Washington on third downs, and then it took the offense out of sync. And it wasn't until they started running again till they started getting going on offense. And I do blame Steichen and Sirianni for that too. Why were you not running the ball? It makes no sense. Bad game all the way around for the Eagles. No question about it. Need a sip. I'm sorry, I'm getting I might be getting a cold or allergies, I don't know. But, bad game all the way around. But it's only one game. We're still 8-1, best record in the NFL. Don't buy all that, that it was karma, it was a reckoning. It wasn't anything like that. The Eagles aren't the Cowboys. We didn't blow a 14-point lead to a 3-6 team, when we should win. We didn't do anything like that. We went out and we lost to a division opponent. When we're looking at the schedule and we're looking at for who's going to be the first team to beat us, really the smart bet was a division rival because they see you the most. So, yeah, it's upsetting that we lost. It's upsetting how we lost, but all the issues that we're talking about are all fixable issues. They're all issues that the Eagles can clean up, and when they do, nobody can beat them. Those are my thoughts on it. Let me know your guys' thoughts. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. So here's how I see the next few weeks going, right? Eagles are going to go in and are going to take care of the Indianapolis Colts. Dallas is going to lose to Minnesota. The Giants are going to beat the Lions. Then the Giants and the Cowboys meet Thanksgiving. Cowboys will be on a 2-game losing streak. The Giants will be still only 2 losses. Dallas will beat the Giants then, and then the Eagles will beat Green Bay. All of a sudden, the Eagles will go back to a 2-game lead on the Giants, a 2.5-game lead on the Cowboys, well, actually a 3.5-game lead on the Cowboys, and all is right in the universe. With that said, Denzel Washington out.